Hi, I'm Ellen, and in this video I'm going to show you how I made these pocket notebooks. Now, these are very handy and I use a lot of them, so stick around to see how I made them. Now, like I said, I use a lot of these, and I was actually inspired by Bob over on his channel I Like to Make Stuff to start making my own. Now, he has a great video on making little notebooks like this, and I'll be using a lot of the same steps, but the main difference is that he is using staples to finish his back, where I am using stitching. So if you want to see how to make the stapled version of these, then go on over to Bob's channel. I put a link for you in the description. But if you want to see how to make the version with the stitched back, then stick around here and I'll show you how it's done. First, I'm going to cut the cover to size. I'm using thick paper with a nice double-sided print on it, but you can use lots of different types of thick paper or thin cardboard. Just make sure that it's thick enough to hold its shape, but still thin enough to fold nicely. I'm basing the size of my pocket notebooks on the size of the paper that I have. I can get 2 notebooks of about 9 by 12 centimeters out of each sheet. This works out to be a good size to fit in my back pocket. But of course you can make any size that you like. I'm also using a page from an old atlas for some covers. It's nice thick paper and I think it'll look pretty cool. I'm using an already cut cover to cut 2 covers of the same size out of the page. Next, I'm going to cut the paper to fill the notebook. I'm using a big notepad with lined paper and I'm taking 6 sheets of paper for each notebook. I fold the top sheet in half, making sure to line up the lines to mark the center. I then cut the stack of 6 sheets in half, giving me 12 sheets. I make sure to cut the paper right in between 2 lines, so that the lines on the paper will line up when I put the 2 stacks together. I'm intentionally leaving the sheets too big for my cover, so that I can cut them to the exact right size once I assemble the notebook. Now I'm going to fold all of the sheets in half, taking 3 or 4 sheets at a time. With the 12 sheets of paper, I end up with 24 pages in my notebook, meaning that I have 48 sides to write on. That's pretty good. And I'm folding the cover in half as well. To prepare for the stitching, I start by making holes in the back of the notebook through all the layers of paper. This will make the stitching a lot easier. I tried sticking the needle straight through the paper without making any holes, and trust me, your fingers will thank you for making the holes first. I'm using the sharp point of an old seam ripper to do this, but you can also use an awl if you have one, or another sharp and thin tool. Start in the middle and work your way out, making the holes on top of the lines to make sure they are nicely spaced. Make an uneven number of holes for the best stitching results. Thread your needle with normal sewing thread and double it up. Start on the inside of the notebook at what will be the bottom side and go out through the first hole. Go into the second hole and tie a double knot with the tail. Don't cut the tail off yet because you'll need it later. Continue by going out through the third hole, into the fourth, out through the fifth, etc. When you come to the top, you can work your way back down, passing the sections that you have not covered yet. When you reach the bottom again, you'll end up at the same hole as the tail. Tie another double knot with the tail and cut off the ends. With the notebook folded open, cut the top and bottom of the paper to size. I'm using my paper cutter, but an exacto knife and a ruler will work just as well. Next, cut the sides to size. Close the notebook first, because if you do this while the notebook is still open, the edges won't line up when you close it. My paper cutter doesn't reach through all the layers of paper, so I'm finishing by using an exacto knife with a metal ruler and a cutting mat. And that's all there's to it. This is a pretty quick and easy project, and if you use this little assembly line like I did, then you can very quickly whip up a whole bunch of these. Now, I may use a lot of these notebooks, but I am set for a while. But I love that if I ever run out, I can just whip up a few more. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then leave me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!